you don't feel like eating, and for some reason you've got the energy, you're okay, you're keeping up with the focus, you're able to work, there's nothing wrong with you. Unless if none of those things are happening, then you need medical attention. So I'm not going to come here and say that if you don't feel like eating and you're not actually connecting to the things that I've actually said, something's wrong with you. You have to check in with your system, right? You need medical attention, speak to your higher self, try to do anything that will actually encourage you to eat or encourage your whole entire system to eat. But if you're not feeling like eating, you still have a lot of energy, you're not feeling drained, you're not feeling weak, right? You're actually encouraged, whatever that is that you're actually doing, you have focus, then there's something happening in the ether, right? You've got 5 elements: the element of air, the element of water, the element of earth, the element of fire, the 5th element, which is the spirit, the element of ether, right? Then it is the element of empty space, empty void, which is nothing, which is actually something that's very powerful. So something is happening in the ether that's reflecting on you, and you happen to actually connect with it, right? Some of you, this might actually become much more easy because you are doing day-to-day meditations and connecting to earth, walking with your bare feet and doing anything that is natural, that reflects on you in a positive way. Instantly, some of you are actually connecting to this. But some of you are not actually doing any of these things. You're not actually meditating. You don't know any of those things, but for some reason, you're actually feeling like not actually eating anything. Something is happening in the ether, in your spirit, the awareness which you're not yet connected to, which is from the subconscious mind that is actually exposing it to your consciousness, right? So you don't need to force yourself. If you feel like I'm not actually feeling any need or necessity for me to eat at that time, because it might happen that maybe in the AM from 7 o'clock up to 12, noon, you don't feel like eating. Then maybe towards 3 o'clock, you're going to start feeling like you have to let it be. You have to actually eat at that time. There's something that you're receiving, which is positive. You won't get it now, right? But it might actually happen that it becomes in an exposure. It becomes in an exposure of you having to reflect on it in a form of a vision or in a form of a dream. Now you start to dream about what is it that you have been receiving the time when you were not eating. Because you have to understand something, that when you feel like you're not actually prone to eat at that time, you're eating something. You're connecting to the 6th element, which is nothing. So you're creating energy from nothing into existence within your body. That's what's actually happening, right? So if you feel this energy, but you've not actually eaten anything, because I know that so many people who don't actually eat in the AM, they have a lot of energy. The moment you start to eat, you start to get drained. You start to actually get tired, right? You start to be accessible to sickness most of the time. So this won't happen every day. But if you wake up in the AM for some reason now, you're not actually feeling like I should actually eat anything, but you're feeling okay. There's nothing bad happening inside of your system. You can feel it, that I'm okay. I can run and still have and keep up with that energy. See what's happening inside of you. There's more prana energy that out of nowhere, consciously so, it's actually affecting you positively. So now you're consuming energy. That's what's happening. Take it for example. And most of the time you look at your children, they like going out and playing outside when the sun is actually out. And you notice something, that they don't actually feel hungry. They're walking with their bare feet, shirtless. They're connecting with the energy of the sun and the magnetic field from the ground. What is this happening generally inside of them? They are consuming something, which is energy. Every time you feel like eating, it is because you want to replace that energy that has been depleted. Now, when you're consuming food, I'm making an example. When you're consuming food, you want to eat until your stomach is full. Your stomach is not really full. You are full. Don't take it in a literal sense, or else you're not going to get what I'm saying. I'm not actually insulting you. I want you to open your awareness in what I'm actually saying. You're actually a fool because you never get full. You can never be able to get full. You're an energy being. You're like a battery. You have to keep on recharging yourself. Hence, that is why it is important for you to walk with your bare feet. To abstain from food for a period of time, maybe 6-7 hours. then eat once a day, for example. It's not that you necessarily need to eat, but you're just replacing that energy. So children, when they play outside, they don't have the feel to eat at that time. We as parents, we now program them to eat. Now you're programming your children to eat 3 times a day. Your children are fine with playing the whole entire day without actually consuming anything. As long as they're actually exposing the sunlight, walking with their bare feet, it is okay. It happens when it is winter. They can't actually connect to that because there's no enough sun outside it. Because there's not enough sun outside it. Is there? Right? The sun is not there. So when it is winter, they'll keep on coming inside the house, telling you that they're hungry, especially if you're not actually giving them food that has enough nutrition that will actually longer sustain them not to actually consume anything for a period of time. So children are consciously aware about this. You used to be consciously aware about this as well, growing up as a child, playing outside. You play the whole entire day, knowing very well that you're actually exposing the sun, shirtless, walking with your bare feet because you're connecting to the ether. Generally so. When you were young, your body knew that you're an energy being. You don't need anything actual or physical to consume that makes you feel like you are full, that actually drives you to think that you've had enough. You're actually telling your whole entire body that you are a fool. That's why they'll say that eat until you get full. This is just going to burden you. Like you won't be able to do anything. You're going to be depleted of energy. Sickness will be prone to you. You're going to be lazy. You get what I'm saying? So your children knew this until you reprogram their mind. Because everything is all about reprogramming yourself. Reprogramming other people. Hence, that is why when you're watching television, they have to play those adverts so many times until you actually buy into their product. Right? Consciously so. So, if you feel like, I don't feel like eating, don't eat for that moment. Let go. You see, connect with your ether. If it helps, get into meditation. I'll give you an example or give you a tip that can actually help you. Sometimes, if you're unable to control your hunger, which most of the time, that hunger is not you being hungry, but it is the worms that are inside of your body. They're telling you that you need to eat now. Even though you don't feel like eating, they're forcing you to do that. Now, if you want to counterattack that and have power over those worms inside of your body, start walking with your bare feet. Go outside in the AM. Be in the sun. Be shirtless. You'll notice something that you won't actually feel hungry anymore. Why? Because you're absorbing the energy inside of your whole entire body. You are recharging yourself like a battery. That's what's happening. It is mostly effective when you start to meditate. I tell you, every time you feel hungry, let's say maybe you don't have actually time for you to go there and buy whatever that is that you need to buy, or you do not have money for that at that time. Sit down in a meditation outside and start to meditate. Even if you're doing it in the house, start meditating for like 5 minutes or so. You'll notice that the hunger will go away. It's not that the hunger is going away. You are fulfilling yourself with an energy, which is connected to your prana energy. Now you're drawing into that, right? It's connecting to you. So if you feel like I don't feel like eating at all, don't force yourself, right? Go with the flow, right? Go with the flow until you feel the necessity for you to eat. Until then, be you, right? Listen to your conscious self. It is trying to teach you something that you actually been missing all these times, right? It doesn't matter if you're not actually connecting to the spiritual world like everybody is. It doesn't really matter. This will come for you, whether be it you're Christian, religious, whatever, it will happen to you. And I'm just letting you know, in simple ways, don't force yourself if you feel like not eating anything at all. Don't force yourself. But if you feel like you're actually tired, you can't take it, you're feeling a type of way, then you need medical attention, or you can actually start eating. But if you genuinely feel like I haven't been eating the whole time, but I have this energy, I feel like I can actually jump up and high without actually getting tired. Why? You're connected to your true source of power, abstaining from anything that is actual for you to consume. You're connecting to the electromagnetic field, especially if you're going to walk with your bare feet and start connecting through meditation. It's more like you having to consume fruits and vegetables that are raw. You're connecting to the electricity, right? There's something happening inside of your body. You're rejuvenating your body with this divine connection you have been missing all these times. So don't force yourself. If you feel like I don't actually feel like eating anymore for that day or days. Sometimes for some of you, it might actually happen that you don't feel like eating for like 3 days. You'll drink enough water, right? Maybe you'll have that one apple or those fruits. The aim is never to make your stomach full. You never get full. When you think you are a fool, you're admitting the fact that you are a fool. Don't take it literal. You're not a fool. I don't think anybody out there is a fool, right? But I'm just saying to you, you are a fool in terms of thinking that you are really full. You are never full. You can never be able to be full. You just need to keep on recharging yourself. Hence, that is why when you start to eat, you are doing what? Replacing that energy. Because your conscious body has not been trained in a sense that with the capacity to withhold that energy within, you're always going to lose that energy. And in order for you to replace it, you must consume something that is actual, that is physical. You look at fruits and vegetables. To me, that is not actually food per se. It is electricity. That's a different thing. Especially fruits. It is electricity. That is not food at all. You're not supposed to actually consume food. Especially anything that has to do with flesh. Not to say that you shouldn't. I'm just talking about it, right? For you to get what I'm actually trying to say. Right? So that's what you do. Now let's say, for instance, you're enjoying the feel of not actually having to consume anything or for a long period of time. Start consuming things once a day. Maybe you can have that one full meal, but it has to be a balanced diet, right? A balanced diet, one full meal a day. Throughout the course of the day, you can actually have like your fruits, you know, your apples, your bananas, and whatever, right? You can be able now to reprogram your whole entire body. You do that for like 2 weeks. It's going to be much more easy now for you to be able to keep up with it. Same thing it applies with meat. Let's say you're trying to stop meat and it has actually been so difficult. It's okay. The reason why it's difficult, you want to stop meat instantly, immediately, by telling yourself, okay, this whole week I'm not going to actually eat meat. That's not going to work. Same it applies when you have to actually, or when you're trying to stop smoking, right? You can't tell yourself that this week I'm not going to smoke. Yes, it might happen that this week you don't smoke, but the next week that comes or so, you will smoke even 10 times greater than before. Because you want to replace the week when you were not actually doing it. Now you end up being like a junkie, right? How do you do this? This week, let's say you've been eating meat 7 times a week. That is like consecutive days, Monday to Sunday. Now you tell yourself, I'm going to eat meat Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm not going to actually eat meat. Or you tell yourself that I'm going to start eating meat Monday to Wednesday. From Thursday, so forth, I'm not actually going to eat meat. You realize that I'm able to actually do it. Okay, now I can actually start eating meat twice a week. Right? Before you know it, now you're able to eat meat once a week. Then after that, you're not going to be able to eat meat anymore. Why? Because you have reprogrammed your mind. You have reprogrammed your whole entire body, your whole entire system. Same it actually applies with anything toxic you're actually trying to stop to consume or inhabit. It's part of the awakening. It's not only connected to meditation and connecting to earth like that on this conscious level. Everything can be an awakening. Awakening is part of the system within your body for you to be able to reprogram your mind to do something new or something else. If you're able to reprogram your system, you're going to be successful in whatever that is that you're actually trying to build yourself. You see? So that's what's actually happening to you. When you feel like when you feel like there's no need for me to eat right now, the conscious body is reprogramming your mind for you because you are not actually able to do it yourself. Right? So you have to keep this in mind. Okay? You have to keep this in mind. Don't force yourself when there's no need for you to do something. Right? Let your body teach you how you can be able to reprogram your mind. You get what I'm saying? So you've learned something today. You do that, right? You do that. Love and cosmic light. I love you so much, unconditionally, within my heart.